Hi guys, this is Vijay. So in this session, we're going to discuss about the Nexus Dashboard Insight setup. So we have the three physical nodes here, and using these physical nodes, we are connecting physical nodes to the ACI, okay, directly. So you have two choices. Either you can connect your physical appliances or Nexus Dashboard Insight with the Cisco ACI leaf, or else if you want to, connect to somewhere out of band, which is the best option. This is the best option, recommended option. However, for my case, I have a small infrastructure. I have two DCs. I want to monitor the health. I want to do the vulnerability checks for these hardware for leaf and spine and AP. So my plan is to connect that my Nexus dashboard hardware with the ACI leaf switches also. So I have around four switches. Two switches are connecting like this. So we have three NDI. So NDI node has basically three uh, types of interfaces. One is a fabric interface. We also call that the data interface, which is around 10 gig interface. I have out of band interface. I have CIMC interface. So what I have done here is I have created an access policy on the ACI. Okay, access policy, and in the access policy I have created the access port and for with the VLAN of 2030. Okay, in the management tenant I have created one EPG, which is the gateway for all these Nexus dashboard. Okay, and I have mapped as a access port, not trunk port, which is the requirement. I have not configured any port channeling between these two ports because this is a by default Cisco NDO access. So if I show you that here, access policy, in the access policy, what I have done for this, I have created the VLAN pool. Okay, VLAN pool name is a TDC. In this particular VLAN, this is the VLAN I have, and I have created one physical domain for this. Physical domain again name is TDC. This one. Okay, and I have created the AAP separately AAP for this in the under the policy global policy. I have created the AAP name is TDC, and associated this author layer 3. Oh, sorry, physical. And I have created the interface profile. Under the interface profile, I have created the policy group. And the policy group, I have created the access policy. In the access policy, what I have done here is I have created the NDO access policy group, which is the access policy, not the port and neither is the PPC. And I have associated few policies such as link global speed, LLDP on, and AAP. In AAP, I have specified the TDC here, and in LLDP, I have 10 gig with the auto on interface. Then I have created the interface profile here. Inside the interface profile, I have created the access port, not the port channel. This is the access port I have. Port on the switch 3 and 4, I have NDO Nexus Dashboard 146 and 48 ports are reserved on 2, 3 and 4. Here, then I have a switch 5 and 6, which is connecting to the third NDO. Okay, this is just the same hardware. We can use this hardware either as a Nexus Dashboard Orchestrator or NDI. If you want to run the Nexus Dashboard Orchestrator and the NDI both in the same hardware, make sure that your physical appliances should have that kind of resource. Since I do not have the resource in the hardware which I have got from Cisco, we are going ahead with a single instance, which is the NDI Nexus Dashboard Insight. So very first thing what I have done is I have created the access policy. After creating the access policy, what I have done, I have created the EPG's bridge domain. Okay, in the management tenant, I have created one EPG. If you see that one EPG here, okay, and I have created one bridge domain also. Name is NDO. And for this, I have given the one layer 3 IP address here. This is the key. Okay, /ND. And I have associated a static bind. If you see that static bind, I have this all the access port. Do not do the trunk port, otherwise your NDO will not be working. If you're having some external connectivity, then you can do the trunk port. But as long as your Nexus dashboard or whatever you call that, or NDI, if it is connecting to the your ACI leaf switches, must be access port, and I have all the 6 port associated. If you see the learning here, I do have the here, so all the interfaces are visible over here. Now, if I go and check that LLDP neighbor, LLDP should be coming on my leaf switches. Okay, if I show here, it's a pretty much simple configuration. I have not done anything else. CI can be reached. If I log into the switch 3 and 4, okay, if I say the so LLDP neighbor, sorry, so LLDP neighbor, if you see that a port number 48, 46, 48 should be visible here. If it is not showing, something I have to check. That's okay. Might be some stuff that process is stuck. If I just show interface brief or status, you will be able to see that those port must be up and port number 48, port number 50, ND interface. They are connected up. So what I do now here is I have configured that CIMC. I have manually went to the my PC. I have plugged my laptop. I have configured that CIMC address on the CIMC IP address on the all the 3 nodes. Okay. Once I have configured CIMC node, if I go and log into all the CIMC nodes, if I go to the node number 1, this is the node number 1. I have CIMC address. Okay. If I log in here, this is the CIMC. Make sure that if you're having the Nexus dashboard hardware, you are running the CIMC version 4.2 or above or 0. If you're having the VM, you do not need to worry about the CIMC. If you're having the virtual Nexus dashboard installation, you have physical Nexus dashboard installation, which is this hardware. If you search this hardware here in the Cisco website, you will see that this is the hardware which Cisco sell for the Nexus dashboard appliances. I have 3 Nexus dashboard. Okay, which I can use for the NDI, NDO, NDFC, all these things I can use. Okay, this is the configuration, manual configuration, all these things. So what I will do here is I will show that this is the Nexus dashboard 1, Epic 2, this is 2. Okay, this is Node 2. I have same hardware, everything is fine, everything is healthy. Then I have Nexus dashboard 3, CIMC. One thing you will notice here, there is a small tab called the launch keyboard, launch KVM, actual KVM. So in order to configure this NDI, or I will not say NDI, okay? As of now, this is the Nexus dashboard. Okay? Then I will enable NDI feature on Nexus dashboard. After configuring the Nexus dashboard, I will enable the Nexus dashboard Insights feature. So in order to configure Nexus dashboard, I have to do here is I will log into the CIMC interface of the any one. Okay, once you configure the 3 node, make sure that their CIMC is reachable to each other. Okay, that's a prerequisite. Once you have the reachability, you log into the CIMC address, you just launch the KVM. Once you launch the KVM on any node, you configure the outer band management index only on the single node. Okay, once you configure the single node, make sure that these interfaces must be reachable. If I say the reachable, they must be the same segment or same VLAN, should be the layer basically. Okay, in order to do that, I will log into the one NDO. I will configure the one outer band management. I will get that graphical interface of this one node. Then I will try to push the configuration on the node 2, node 3 from here itself. Once I will define here what I want in the node 2 and node 3, first I will discover from this node, I will discover the CIMC IP address from the node 1 to node 2 and 3. Once CIMC discovery is done, I will define from what I want to push the configuration to the node 2 and 3. Which interface it will be using? It will use first this interface for the configuration push. When the configuration is pushed done, these three nodes will form the cluster using the fabric interface, which is the data interface also. Okay, and once this done, you will be able to see that all the nodes are in the cluster. So let me do the configuration. I will log into the Nexus Dashboard 1 first. Okay. So if you want to see the which interface you want to connect, blah blah thing, so you can let me show that Nexus Dashboard interface if I can show that. If you have a physical server, you will get that. If you know the Epic physical interfaces, it's more like the same. Let me show that. Interfaces. Anyways, there is going to be the more than one or two interfaces. You have to connect that those two interfaces or one interface. If you want to have HA, you can connect two. If you want to have the single interface instance, you can go with the single interface instance as well. That's not an issue. Okay. So what I will do here is I will launch the KVM for the node 1. Okay. I will not configure the outer band or any other configuration on the 3 and 2 and 3. I will just configure, I have just configured the CIMC address on the 2 and 3. I will configure outer band only on the node. Then I will try to push the configuration of node 2 and 3 from the node. Okay, so here I have, which is running this node is your Nexus Dashboard is based on the containerized applications. So this is a containerized uh, micro segmentations are running here. So what I will do here is I will just configure that Nexus Dashboard IP address, which is running on top of the Docker image here. So I have, it is asking the password. I will configure the password, which will be the replicated all the nodes. Then I have outer band type. So I have defined, let me define the IP address which I have. Cool. I will put the gateway 120.6.49. I think so. Then I will say no. It will take around once one document is passed, you will able to access this Nexus dashboard from the graphical interface using the outer band. To make sure that your outer band should be reachable from the uh, devices. I will say that 51. Wait. And now it is reachable. So what I will do here is I will just log in this Nexus dashboard interface. It is asking that it is running currently 2.1 version. And if I go to the Nexus dashboard software, if I say the Cisco Nexus dashboard software, if I go in, so clearly, if this is showing that if I click on the 3.0, which is the latest one, saying that if you are running the 3-node physical appliances, you must not upgrade Nexus to 3.0. So I am going to keep that my 2.1 version, or I can switch to the 2.3 also. If you have physical appliances, you have to have this image, which I have already have which I will show that how to upgrade the Nexus dashboard in the later series. Here, if I go to give the password which I have configured, then so it is asking the what is the cluster name. So very first thing you have to define about cluster name. So I want to give that this cluster name for my case. Then it is asking the NTP and DNS, which is a must for you. So I have two NTP, two DNS, so I will configure that this is the NTP IP and DNS IP. Perfect. Without this, since it is a mandatory, without doing the NTP and DNS, you cannot move forward. So you have to configure it. So I will my DNS one, which is resolving from the outer band interface or CIMC. Okay. Then I will say the proxy configuration. I will skip this proxy configuration. Then I will say next. In the moment I will say the next, it will ask you to configure the fabric interface and configure fabric interface and outer band interface IP address for these two also, which I have, and this also. So here you have two categories: management IP address and data IP address. So very first thing what I will do is I will try to discover the node 2, node 3 using the CIMC IP address and credentials. Once I discover that, I have to give them the outer IP address and data interface IP address. So for data, for this node itself, I will configure the data and host name. I will give that host name to this one, NDI one, and I will give the data this one, 57, which is my ACI IP address, BD IP address, and done. I will not give any VLAN. If you want to give the VLAN, you can, that's fine. Once this done, I will discover the node 2. In the node 2, what I will give that IP address of the CIMC. I will define the credentials. Then I will validate that communications. Once it is validated, you will see that green uh, uh, tab will be pop up here. Then I will give that node name, which I want to give the name of that box. Node 2, I want to give. Then I want to give outer band addresses, for example, what should I give? This is for next dot 52. Dot 52 slash 29. Okay, and I will define that gateway here also 59. Then I will give the data interface with fabric port 59 slash 28. Gateway is 57. Done. Once this is Nexus 2 is done, dashboard, I will add the Nexus dashboard 3 also. This is 37. Admin. I will define that validate the credentials. The moment it will validate the credential, you will see that serial number will pop up automatically. This is a pure Nexus dashboard. This is not specific to the application. Nexus dashboard orchestrator and the NDI and your NDFC is just application which will be running on top of this hardware. NDI, and I will give that IP address 53 29. I will get the data interface which is connecting towards the ACI 60 28 56. Perfect. Now, once you have all the three details, you are ready to do the provisioning. Okay, once you will select the next, it will ask that shall I jump initiate the traffic from node 1 to the node 3 and start forming the cluster. So what I will do here is I will say the next. It's in the configure. I will say just configure it. It is saying that confirmation, once it will start the confirmation, it will take around 30 to 40 minutes. That's the standard time to do the all initial configuration. So first of all, it will do the bootstrap configuration, then it will configure the cluster. This is the bootstrap configuration. It will easily take 10 to 15 minutes. Then it will do the cluster bring up configuration. Okay, you do not have to do anything on the node 2 and 3. Once you perform this kind of steps from the node, it will automatically synchronize. Make sure that you have the reachability layer to reachability between the nodes. Okay, so this is the one thing. Second thing is this is NDI, which I'm going to run applications. For NDI, the prerequisite is your in-band interface or in-band IP address of the AP, leaf, and spine must be reachable to the NDI application in order to get that hardware level telemetry and the vulnerability reports. If you do not have, that's going to be the issue. If you're having the NDO, Nexus Dashboard Orchestrator, then outer band management IP address is also that's fine. You have two options. Either you, for NDI, in-band address is must. For NDO, Nexus Dashboard Orchestrator, which we use for the your multi-site configuration, epic outer band management, if that is reachable to the here to the NDO, that should be sufficient. But for my case, since I have NDI, how I'm going to configure the in-band address. So let me let's this to complete that. It will take few minutes, 30 to 2 minutes. Okay, once this will come up, you will see that. Meanwhile, what I here is, if you see here, if I log into the AP, and I will see that what is my in-band address. Okay, if I say the AV read, if the AV read, this is my in-band address. This is my in-band address, and this is my outer band address. So if I want to configure this in-band address, right? Yes, here where I have to configure it, you have to go to the management tenant. Then you have to go under the node management address. In the node management address, you will have the static node management. Here you can see the cost I have configured is outer band. Nothing is in, right? So what I will do here is I will try to configure the in-band address. Same IP address I can use in a graphical interface. Then I will create the contract between the EPG which I have created for the NDO, Nexus Dashboard, and the in-band EPG. It will automatically start the processing. Okay. It is taking time. It will start actually. Okay. Let me pause the video and come back once the installation is done. So it is like already in progress. So it is doing that. It's saying that it will take around 8 to 9 more to that to cluster sync up. And yeah, let's see. I will resume the video after. Let me check that cluster one also. Perfect. Cluster one. Cluster three. Three. We lock in this. So it is automatically syncing that all the configuration. Yep. Okay, I will resume the video after this cluster setup is done. for verification. Guys, so it is almost about to complete, getting ready for each node. If I check that each node is about to in, then it's to be ready. Then after that, sort of service registrations, you can see that a lot of steps have been done, like initial setup. You have the Kubernetes, cluster, kubelets, etcd, service setup, and we bring up that Kubernetes API because this is totally Docker-based, containerized-based cluster going to be, which is going to have the multiple microservices as for the NDI, DFC, and the other applications which is so introduced inside the Nexus Dashboard. Let's wait for a few more minutes, then be back. So we have now cluster up and run. If I try to log in any other one, here we go. This is start, saying that do not log in. So I will just close this section. Now this is your Nexus dashboard. Currently, we do not have anything which I have did here. Okay, so if I go to the admin console, inside the admin console, if I try to see that service health, so in the currently is healthy state. Now there are few sections are there, especially in the right corner. You can see that at side is a shortcut and the firmware upgrade, administrative configuration, Nexus dashboard. And if you want to check the bootstrap logs, what has been happened so far, saying that this is all the steps which has been happened, all the things are completed. Okay, and let's see that major thing is about 3 nodes. All the 3 nodes are master nodes. There is no worker node in the Kubernetes which we have configured here. So if I see how many ports are there, this is just containerized based application. So multiple APIs and calls will be there, like more than 100, 200 page kubelet system and all this will be there. Now, if I go to the services, which is our major components, under the overview section, we will have a total health of the cluster and details, overall, how many cluster nodes we have. If I click on this, these are the node details you have. These all the roles are masters. If you want to see the administrator, if you want to, try to integrate with the TechX or Radius, you can do that. And this is the certificate based thing. If you want to create any user, you can do that. For example, you can click if I want to create the user, if I say that Vijay password, if I anything. Okay. Let me see that. The first name, second name, you can define that if you want to give that, add the roles also if you want to. I'm going to, define as admin role for myself. Or if you want to have some local user with the specific roles, you can definitely do that. Site administrator role, I'm going to have. Administrator role, I'm going to have. Any one role you can give that. Read, write, which you want. I want to have the write access. I will just save that. All the domain. Then I will say save. Perfect. Then I will create this. This is how you create that user. If you want to get that infrastructure detail, like for example, cluster configuration has been there by default. The Nexus dashboard has 2 IP which are going to be reserved. This is for app-based microsegmentations or microservices rather. These are the service IPs which will be used, and this is the app-based. Whatever applications will be deploying, those applications will be using IP of this range. What are the services we have? Infrastructure, like for example, segmentation. There are a lot of apps are running in services. If I go to the system, inside the system, if I go code, inside you see that here a lot of the ports are by default they are running. So they will be taking the IP from that range itself. Okay, and look here how many namespaces are there. There are a lot of namespaces which has been by default created. So you do not have to touch anything related to Kubernetes, anything related to the Docker here. You just have to focus on the what is your application system. So how I'm going to run the user side. That's the very first thing going to check that. So what I will do here is I will go into the services. Into the services, you will see that app store and installed. There are a couple of things are there. So in the installed app, you will see that Nexus Dashboard Orchestrator, which I don't need that. So what I will do is I need Nexus Dashboard Insight. So if I click on the Nexus Dashboard Insight, this one, this is the application I. So Nexus Dashboard can have your Nexus NDFC, Nexus Dashboard Insight, Orchestrator, uh, ServiceNow for Nexus Dashboard. Then you have Terraform and insurance you can have. I will integrate this one inside. I will click on this, install that, which just it will be by default installed for me. Just wait for a second. If you want to have the app downloaded somewhere, it will have, you can download from here. So let me wait for the Nexus Dashboard sites. Yes, well, let me install that Nexus Dashboard inside. Okay, first, then I will show that how to enable that application. If you want to enable that, it will ask that multiple deployment whether it's for demo or for production. If it is for production, this is your total CPU and the case it gonna take. Once you enable that, this application will be installed. Same thing for the Nexus Dashboard Insight, which I'm going to do it uh, in few minutes. Okay, so let me pause the video and first I download the Nexus Dashboard Insight my credentials, then I resume. Right, guys. So I have downloaded a couple of the applications here. For example, I downloaded Nexus Dashboard Orchestrator, NDFC, and Nexus Dashboard Insight. So I will try to enable the Nexus Dashboard Insight. So click enable. So it is asking that this physical appliance, physically small, virtual, what you want to have. If I select physically small, if I say physically standard, it will say 13, and memory going to be 131, and this is the maximum is needed. If I going to say the small, so this one I'm going to be utilizing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the small, the standard. The standard going to be the huge for me. If I click on that, if you're having less than 50 nodes, if you're having the big one, if you're having this much flow, you can do that. I'm going to be small. I will say enable that. So it will take a couple of minutes to spin up the one small code on the Kubernetes, which is currently running on the Nexus Dashboard cluster. Here, it will spin up the one small code in that, which we call that the NDI Nexus Dashboard Insight, which I don't care how it's going to put here. If click on the services again, let's wait for a couple of minutes. It will say that it started and it is on the 16%. So let's wait for like a couple of minutes. It will reach the 100%. Right, guys. So I have Nexus Dashboard Insight installed this cluster. So let me show that how it looks. So I have the 3 applications out of 3. I just installed that one. This is what it is. It is showing it's saying the 92 container, 86 ports it has creating. It's the current running version, it's small version, and it is showing that deep operation visibility for faster troubleshooting and all these things. It's showing that all the details. If you want to want to see the more details of it, this is the all we have. Your system resource, what is the current utilization? These are the port names, API servers, blah blah blah. Things are there. So which you would have to worry about that. These are auto-populated. And but if you want to monitor that all these things, you have better tool integrated within the Nexus dashboard. You have a resource utilization for the Grafana. Grafana tool is the DevOps tool which is integrated by default. It can show that the Prometheus, Grafana, Kafka, all these MongoDB related the CPU utilization, hardware utilization, interface utilization, all these based things you can capture from here. Like specific to the namespace if you want here, which namespace you want to check that. If you want to check that node basis, you can check that node basis also. So let me show that how to open. Just you have to click on the open the tool. Once you open that, we redirect to the different setup of a new page where you will have where you have to set up the inside. You have to register that all the devices where you want to which you want to integrate with the Nexus Dashboard inside Nexus ACI these. For a second, it comes of course. If you want to change the password, user preference, if you want to do that, you can definitely select it. If you want to do the site configuration, you can do the site configuration. You want to register that site with it. So let's wait for a second. It is taking time. The first time. Let's wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Guys, so I have restarted this app because it was stuck, so it will take a couple of minutes. So meanwhile, I'm going to stop this recording here, and I will record the next session with the Nexus Dashboard Insight configuration and how to upgrade the Nexus Dashboard itself, and how to integrate with all the devices which access for ACI devices. All these things will be recording in future sessions. Thanks for watching.